Now, it's long been thought that the menopause brings with it extra kilos, but a new study finds that weight is actually redistributed rather than added by the hormonal change. Medical experts say women should focus on their waist measurements rather than their weight to keep track of their health. Here's Ambikairajah from the ANU. Anandan, good to see you. So what's happening in menopause that's causing these changes?
Yeah, no, thank you very much for having me. I guess what's happening overall, what we did was we did a study which collected a bunch of different studies, and we collected all the results and we tried to see what was going on when we compared the differences in fat mass between premenopausal and postmenopausal women. And what we found was that postmenopausal women had increases in fat mass, but this was predominantly due to aging and not really due to menopause at all. But what was really interesting was that increases in central fat were due to possibly changes that occur around menopause.
So carrying more weight around the waist, that central fat, makes women think that they're putting weight on rather than it just shifting.
Precisely, and that's where the myth sort of comes from. But overall, we can confirm that over a long period of time, we see that it's predominantly due to aging. And this study collected over 200 studies and reported on over 1 million women. So we're pretty confident in the findings that were consistent across the board.
Yeah. So is there increased risk of some health conditions if weight is held around the middle area rather than elsewhere?
Definitely. Fat that's accumulated in the stomach has been linked with conditions such as cardiovascular disease and dementia. So the results of this study really stress the importance of engaging in healthy lifestyle behaviors such as, physical activity, eating well on a regular basis, specifically if you see central fat accumulating around menopause.
Isn't this just the same for men as well? They tend to get thicker waist, don't they, as they age, leaving menopause aside, of course?
It's spot on. I mean, cardiovascular disease is thought to be a male-dominated disease, but really when we look at the statistics, if we compare premenopausal women with men of the same age, we find that, yeah, cardiovascular disease is higher in men, but when we reverse and look at postmenopausal women and age-matched men, we find that cardiovascular disease is actually higher in women. So this central fat accumulation is definitely an important factor when talking about cardiovascular disease.
So what's the situation if women are on hormone replacement therapy then, Anandan? HRT, of course, meant to help the symptoms of menopause.
Yeah, well, in our study, we included women using hormone replacement therapy and also excluded them, and we wanted to see what the difference was in results. Interestingly, what we found was when we included women using hormone replacement therapy, overall fat mass gain still continued, but central fat mass gain did not happen. So there was the distribution of fat around the central stomach didn't really occur. Now, I just want to be clear, this message doesn't mean that everyone should be having hormone replacement therapy. There's a lot of risk associated with it in women who engage in hormone replacement therapy, especially after the age of 60 to 65. But what it does show is that there's something interesting here and more research is needed, especially around the time of menopause.
Anandan Ambikairajah, thank you.
Thank you very much.